Good afternoon, friends of Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, and welcome to our celebrations of 100 years at Hartfield Road. The spiritualist history of this church is quite momentous. Jackie's been speaking already earlier today, and she'll be speaking again a little bit later, as will I. The next part of the service is our medium, Sarah Wawman, who's going to give a demonstration of spiritualist mediumship. All I will basically say at this point, I will ask Sarah to open with prayer. Then she was going to read a little poem. I'll explain some other bits and pieces, and then Sarah will work for approximately an hour, bringing the two worlds that bit closer together. So Sarah, welcome to Wimbledon Spiritual Church. Would you please open our meeting with prayer?
Good afternoon, everybody. If you'd like to join me in your quiet, online and within the church. Divine and gracious Spirit, creator of all things, as we open this prayer, I just ask that we just open our hearts. Let's open our hearts and send out that love. Send out that love to the world. Send out that hope. Let's send out that peace. And as we do so, let's send love to all the children of our world, to hope that they receive the love and the guidance they need on their earthly journeys. Let's send love and healing to the four corners of the world, to the war-torn countries, to every leader of every nation, to hope that they have compassion and understanding everyone that they govern, to make the right decisions for everyone so that we can have peace in our world. Let's send love to Mother Earth and gratitude for everything that she gives us so that we can walk upon her and do what we do. Let's just continue to send that love and that light to all the hospitals and the hospices, for anybody that's on their sickbed at this time. Let's just send our thoughts, our love, our prayers, because prayers are the miracles of life. Let's just remember who we are as we just sit in this quietness and then in this love. Just remember the love that you are. And I thank you for being you. And I thank you for being here this afternoon. And I ask at this moment in time, you just think about your beautiful loved ones in the spirit world. Think about that love and those memories and allow them to encompass your heart so I can do what I do in love, in light and in truth. Amen. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, friends, I'll ask Sarah to read her poem, and then afterwards I'll explain what's going to happen in the next part of the meeting. Thank you, friends.
I thought I would share this with us today. None of us really know, and yet we do our very best. When walking through the darkness, facing every test, all of us have dreams. They long to find the air, dreams that are our essence about which we really care. And all of us are longing to shed that ancient skin, to dive bravely deep inside of us to find what's within. When we all are waking from our dream that was never ours, peeling back the layers that we can find and find time to smell the flowers. As each of us is waking up, we see others waking too, and scratching heads and wondering, so now what do we do? For some of us are angry and some of us are afraid, and some of us are feeling that we have been betrayed. Yet others are truly knowing there's nothing ever lost, that we can change direction, whatever the cost. Well, the answer is we remember who we are. Remember who we were, and we remember where we come from and how it comes back to there. We remember that we are creators, we can step back into the light and be that sacred beings that have traveled through the night to face our own destruction in order to birth again and restore that sacred planet. Who knows how she was back then. So let us now, dearest ourselves, let us not betray our sacred earth, but let us gather all our strength and start the grand rebirth. For we all have that knowing, we are wise beyond our fears, so let us take each other's hand and dry those ancient tears. For while the sun still rises and our still blesses every dawn, let us clear the dross and get to work, for there's so much to be done. but do it, people. It's why we actually came, to finally open our hearts and end this cosmic game. Thank you very much.
Sharon. Thanks, friends.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wonderful. So, friends, now next part of the service, Sarah will demonstrate the gifts of the Spirit. If Sarah comes to you or speaks to you, please remember what colour shirt, blouse, top you're wearing, and don't look behind you because you might just see your mum standing there. Please, please, please send up your love and your strength to Sarah today. And please, as I say, simply answer yes or no. If there's something you don't understand, also please say that. And I know Sarah will do her utmost to do her best for not only yourselves, but for the spirit world. Sarah is a fine worker for the spirit, and I've been very proud to see her at our Spirit Seeker, and I've been very pleased to have her at Hatbridge as well as being at Wimbledon. She's become a good supporter of our Spirit Seeker and Wimbledon and Hatbridge Spiritualist churches. So I'd like to welcome back to our lectern, Sarah Wawman. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay. Right. So like Ray said, I normally know where I'm going, but I could be mistaken. You know, the heat might affect me, but then every good medium should know that you can work in many different ways and different locations. But before I came this afternoon, I literally Spirit kept telling me to go to the back. And literally would understand someone that would have a wedding ring belonging to a gentleman. Would you understand that at the back? Oh, sat nav's definitely out. Okay. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. Okay. So you don't understand, you haven't got a wedding ring that belongs to a gentleman in the spirit world. Okay. Okay. That's a good start, isn't it? Right. Okay. Let's get started. Okay. Let's just see where I'm going then. Okay. Can I come to you, Leslie's partner, Alistair, please? Yeah. Is that okay? Okay, as I blend my energy with you, I know that I've got a lady that's blended her energy with me. I want to say she looks, yep. I want to say she looks pretty similar to you in your face, but I know that she would have had dark hair, but I know that she would have had issues with her mobility as well. But she's such a gentle character, but a hard-working woman all at the same time. I've got this strength. Would you understand this so far?
Yes.
Yeah,
so far.
okay.
Yeah.
And I know I love her energy because she's like, I'm going to give it my all and I'm going to give everything to my life and make sure everybody's taken care of. I know that you can't go around her home unless, you know, she's taking care of you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
She's telling about all the difficulties that she faced within her life, and that she just was a lady that would fall and get back up. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's very much proud of you, how you keep getting back up. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah, okay. I love her, but she keeps showing me, do you understand? Does she work in a library or something? Because she keeps showing me, you know, like brown cards or brown envelopes. Would you understand?
Not in the library.
Okay, but do you understand why she's showing me the brown envelopes?
Yes.
Or, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like trying to work it out. Did she work in the library? But that's what I just kept seeing these cards. But you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't need to go. Okay. She's just talking about the end of her life and how difficult it was letting go and trusting people to take care of her. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, because she was so independent and she fought right up until the end. You understand this?
Yeah.
I do get a little bit confusion with her as well. Do you understand that? Yeah, okay. And I just know that she's just saying, I'm back to my normal self and I'm taking care of everyone and I'm making sure. Would you understand the surname King, please?
King.
Yeah. Just heard this.
Yes, I think I can.
You understand? And where's May fit in as well, please? I feel it's a name rather than the month.
May. No, I can't place a May.
Okay, I'm hearing Mrs. May. Just bear that in mind, please, for me. I understand October would be significant for you. You understand? Feel that there's a birthday in October.
Oh yes.
Yeah, okay. She's talking about you. You used to be quite clumsy. when you was younger. Do you understand that?
am.
Yeah, yeah, Leslie's laughing. Okay. She's like, I was always worried because you was on your bike and you'd always fall off. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So she's just bringing those memories in there. She's talking about 2 children. Do you understand the 2 children, please?
Well, yes.
Yeah,
I suppose so.
okay. And something about 1983 that would connect in with you as well. Do you understand?
83. I think I got married then.
Okay, so but she's just talking about all those wonderful memories and you know who all those. Would you understand where all her belongings are, please?
No.
She's got quite a sense of humour to her. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because she's telling me that someone held on to her knickers for quite a while. But I believe that she's making me to make you laugh. Do you understand
Yeah.
that? Okay. I'm hearing the song Don't Look Back in Anger, and that for me from the spirit world is the past is the past. It's time to move forward. Do you understand?
Yeah.
We can't change it, but we can just grow from it and move forward. And that's what she wants you to do. Okay. Would you understand the sapphire ring, please?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And her pearls as well, please. I don't think they were real.
No.
You understand the pearls?
No, I don't understand the pearls.
Okay. Where's Chris fit in around you, please?
Chris.
Or Christine, it could be.
Christine.
Yeah, you understand that. So I just need to bring love and healing to her. Okay. And it's a Dave or David, please, as well, she's mentioning.
Yeah, there was an Uncle Dave.
Yeah, okay. And would you understand him? He would have lost loads of weight.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a cancerous condition here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it was the throat as well. Do you understand?
I've got no idea about
it. Okay, but that's where he's taking me to. But I just know that he's coming in to say hi. And it was like he's telling me he was a bit of an odd job man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I put my hand to anything. Do you understand that? Okay. And you're pretty good at DIY.
If I'm allowed to.
I was just going to say when you do it, that's what I want to say to you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just know that's what he's bringing forward. So there must be something that you need to work on at this moment. Okay.
Yeah.
And he's just like giving you that nudge. He was quite dapper in his younger life. Do you understand that?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like showing me like a suit and quite a chiseled look. So who's suffering on earth with their tummy, please?
Tummy, not tummy, but they are suffering.
Okay. All right. Okay. So just bringing healing there. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. This gentleman's just singing to me now, walk on the brighter side of life as well. So I just feel that's his character. Yeah. I'm not going to leave this lady's love and this gentleman's love with you. But before he goes, he wants me to, he's showing me a pocket watch. Would you understand the pocket watch, please?
I remember him wearing one.
Yeah. Okay. So that as long as you make sense to you.
Yeah.
But I just feel like he's shaking it at me as if to say, time now, time to move forward. You okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you for working
Thank
with me.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. See where we're going. Okay. Can I come to you, sir? Yeah. I don't bite, honestly, but okay. It's
Cheers. Thank you.
okay. Okay. As I blend my energy with you, I know that I've got. Would you understand a gentleman that would have had a motorbike accident, please?
No.
Okay, maybe I'm not with you. Would anybody understand someone that would have had a motorbike accident, please? You understand? Okay, sorry about that. I'll come back to you though. Okay. Would you understand that it would have affected the whole one side of his body?
No, he died in the accident.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's showing me as if one side of the body was literally decapitated, basically.
Oh, right.
Okay. And I just know that he went to the spirit world. Would you understand? Do you know this, that there's a crash hat that's still around, please?
No, his brother might have it.
Okay. Do you understand? What he used to wear leathers, right?
Yes.
Would you remember the colour? Because he keeps showing me blue and white leathers. Would you understand the significance of that?
No, he had black leathers, I know that.
Okay. So would you understand the significance of blue and white then that I need to bring to you? I don't know if it's a football team or something. There's something about blue and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, you understand that, okay? Because I just saw him the leathers as blue and white, so that's what he's okay. But quite a character. Do you understand? Yeah, and quite a sort of a gentleman that feels like I know everything. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I didn't know him that well.
Okay, but that's the way he's making me feel. Bit of a Jack the Lad, and just literally went along with life and took some too many risks. But I want to say, with the accident, it wasn't his fault. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's just going on about, the drivers of this world need to be educated on the motorbike side of life. Do you understand that? Okay. Okay. Would you understand this happened in the winter time?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And he's he's talking about you. You're a bit of a risk taker as well. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Especially with your driving.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the trucks, the lorries, you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he's just coming in to bring in that, you only live once sort of energy. And he wants to say thank you for remembering him. Okay. And there's something about July that would be significant for him. So I don't know if you know, it's the anniversary, he's passing, but there's something about July that would be significant. He's mentioning to me. Okay. It's showing me, like, did he feel like he was Top Gun or something like that?
Yeah, he was boss of a firm.
Okay, you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he just showed me like the Top Gun and the whole look, the whole shebang. Okay. I just feel like he's just coming in just to say thank you. Okay. Just a short message for you. And that comes with a lot of gratitude and respect. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. And for looking, I know you mentioned a brother, yes?
Yeah.
But it's like also keeping an eye out for his brother as well. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for working with me.
Thank
you. Oh, melting. Don't throw water over me because I will melt. Okay, let's see where I'm going. Can I come back to you, sir? That's okay. Okay. I'll just wait for Julian to give you the microphone.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
So nice.
We can sing if you like, rather than just mediumship, but okay. As I blend my energy with you, I know that I've got a lady that's coming in, and I want to say this lady is probably about my size, a little bit petite and quite a fiery lady.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm always on the go. You're not stopping me. I'm going to do what I want. I do things my way and the highway or else. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Okay, I love her energy because she was honest. And that honesty, we have a lot of desires these days. Are not honest enough. Do you understand that?
Totally.
Yeah, okay. And that's the energy she's bringing from the spirit world for you, about the honesty of what's going on around you. I hope you understand that.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so she just wants you to speak your truth, okay. Okay, only in your free will if that's what it's like, but you understand.
I do.
Yeah, okay. She's talking about her bones, so I feel that there was a bit of arthritis with her. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I just know that, no matter what was going on with her, she's like still going to keep doing what I want. Okay. And if even though her hands were so filled with arthritis, I'm still going to sew that hole up. I'm still going to fix the curtains that need mending. Do you understand that?
She never stopped going.
Okay. She wants me to bring you some proper food, she's telling me. Do you understand that? Because she loved to cook. She loved to do everything because she's very traditional. Do you understand?
Yes.
But you know, she's saying over the time, my cooking wasn't the greatest as the time went on because I didn't do it as much and I didn't put the time into it as I used to. But I just know that she wants you to have some proper food. Sundays was her best day. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
Making that roast, it was like having an early roast and then having afternoon tea. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so she wants to bring that in. Would you understand someone's still got her cup?
A cup,
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah,
yes.
she's talking about her little bone china cup
Yes.
with the saucer, and I feel like
Definitely.
it's still here. And she's just mentioning that.
Absolutely.
Okay. And she's talking about the biscuits as well. She was quite sneaky with the biscuits. She'd give the best people the chocolate ones. You understand?
Yeah,
Okay. And she showed me a little trinket box. Do you understand?
yeah,
And I've got like sweets in it, but there's also hidden money underneath.
yes.
Okay, so she wants to bring in those memories for you.
Okay.
Okay. Would you understand a little white dog as well, please?
I'm not sure about that.
The poodle.
Maybe in family.
Okay. I know there's a white dog, but I know that there's a poodle, but I feel it's a little black one.
Okay.
Okay. And would you understand why she's mentioning Marks and Spencers to me?
Yes.
What's around?
Very keen on them.
Okay, so, but I feel like she's bringing that forward because we've got to remember that you do deserve those things. Do you understand?
Okay.
Yeah. It's not about giving to everybody else all the time. It's about remembering and treating yourself and looking after yourself. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay. She's bringing me a photo album for you. You know, one of those old ones with the sticky. Okay. Have you been looking at them recently?
Yes.
Okay. She's going to right at the back. She wants to look at the back page and take me to. So there must be something significant there. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to Greece, sir?
I'd like to.
Okay, so I just heard Greece.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's either a memory or there's something about that within your energy that I need to bring. Okay. Where's Martin fit in, please?
Martin?
Yes, please. I feel they're on Earth.
Not aware of a Martin.
Okay. Okay. Do you understand Cornwall, Devon connections, please?
Not especially, no.
Okay, just bear that in mind then,
Okay.
please. Okay. And is it yourself that suffers with the lower back, please?
Yep, there was.
Okay. Yes. So you understand
Yes.
they're bringing that forward for you. I've also got a gentleman here. I feel like he would have had a stroke. Would you understand?
Yeah, I do know gentlemen who's had strokes, yes.
Okay, be in the spirit world.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to just say he's here and he's saying hello, and that comes with a lot of gratitude towards you. Okay, so a lot of respect. Do you understand that?
That's nice.
Okay, I just know that he wasn't always not as easygoing as a lady. Do you understand? Okay, and he didn't always give the right words at the right time.
Yes.
Okay, so you understand that he's just doing his best.
Okay.
Okay. He just wasn't very good on emotions. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I've got to keep a stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's talking about, do you understand, was it you or him that would have had like a mole or something that's significant? On the back of the ear?
Not sure about that.
Okay, just maybe there's a
Okay.
picture or there's something about, or someone will know about this mole that he's talking about. Okay. Would you understand a plumber as well in the family?
Yes.
Yes, he just mentioned that. And would you understand Kevin as well, please?
Kevin. Yes.
Yeah, okay. This gentleman's quite like, I've said what I need to say. You know, I just feel that's who he was.
Yeah.
And I've said what I need to say and I'm gone.
Okay.
Okay, so just to let you know that I'm there.
Right.
Okay. But just the energy that they're all bringing from the spirit world for you is that take some time to look after you.
Right.
And then when you're full up and you're all full up and you'll know where you are, then you can give it to others. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay, you've got a daughter, please.
Yes.
Okay, I need to put extra love around her at this time as well.
Okay.
So I hope you understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, and February, please. There would be a birthday in February.
Not sure.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'll leave February with you, and please take this lady's love.
Sure.
Actually, more than love, she wants me to blow you a kiss.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, and thank you for working with me.
Yeah,
Right, thank you
you.
very much. Thank you. Oh, it's nice to see some more people. Welcome. Okay, let's see where we're going now. Okay. Can I come to the lady there? Yep, you with the headband on here. Okay. Okay, I'm not
I
sure.
don't need microphone. I have, yeah.
We can sing if you like, if
Yeah.
you don't want to speak. So yeah, okay. As I blend my energy with you, I know that I've got a gentleman that's come through. And I know that he is quite a proud man and he makes me want to stand tall, and respect and manners and discipline are very important to him. But I know that I would have lost quite a lot of weight before I went to the spirit world. Would you understand this?
Maybe.
Okay, I do feel like I would have lost my hair as well, so I've not got much hair left on my head with him. And I just know that I'm a bit of like I like to keep control. I like to keep a little bit of discipline and a little bit of respect within the family, and those values are very important to him. But I know I lose weight, but I've also got breathing issues here as well. Would you understand this?
Not yet.
Okay. Would you understand the name Fred, please? Frederica, Frederick, something like that. It sounds like that. Frederick.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Do you understand anything about this gentleman? I feel like I'm a grandfather.
Could have been a great grandfather, but maybe I was very young.
Okay.
When he passed.
Okay, but I just know that he's coming in for you. Okay. And I know that he's coming in to let's put it this way, that you're on a little bit of not knowing which direction to go in at the moment, and he's just coming in just to say, listen to your heart. Okay. And your heart won't lead you wrong. Okay. And I feel that there's a bit of changes within the work and with everything at the moment, and I know it's all up in the air, but you are strong enough, just like him. Okay. But I know that he's bringing that respect, manners and values are very important in the decisions that you make. I hope you understand that. Okay. Would you understand the name Rosie or something similar to Rosie, please?
Rosas. maybe?
Rosa, okay,
Rosas.
yeah, you understand that? Okay. Would you understand somebody who's got a tattoo of a flag, please? Okay. Can you just bear that in mind that I've mentioned that?
Yeah.
Okay. And would you understand a baby girl that went in miscarriage as well, please? I feel like it's around 7 to 8 weeks. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that babies, that they grow up in the spirit world, they're angel babies.
Yeah.
They never leave us, and I just want to say that that you've been thinking about this, and
Mm-hmm.
they've never left you. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Obviously you don't understand the gentleman, but I feel that he is a grandfather, and I just know that he's here for you to bring that strength and them values. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave that there for you. But thank you very much for working with me. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Bless
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. How's everyone? Yeah, hot. All melting, aren't we? We can all melt in together anyway. So there you go. We can all be smelly together. Okay, let's see. Can I come to the lady at the back with her fan? Hi, how are you?
Bless you. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. As I blend my energy with you, I know that I want to say I've got a lady and a gentleman that's joining me. Okay. I do feel like they were on earth together and they're now in the spirit world together. I'll go with the lady. This lady reminds me of my aunt. Okay. Quite a strong character. If there was any situation with her, within her life, she would be, or your life, she would be right at the front and sticking up for you and protecting you, because I know that that's what she wants to do at this time. Okay. I do feel like she's talking about tubes and oxygen at the end of her life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But such a character, honest, to the point, and just done things in the best possible way. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. I just know that I've got to just hold you still from this lady at the moment. Do you understand? I need to quieten your mind, and I need to hold you still and just stop you for a moment to take that breath so that you can literally move forward. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you understand? Did she used to play darts? She's talking about playing darts. Where's the dart player fit in then? She's mentioning someone playing darts.
We all used to play darts at Christmas.
Okay,
and it
so
was fun.
okay, so those memories. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
why she's bringing that in, because
Yeah,
the
there was a
fun. Yeah,
lot
you
of-
understand that? Yeah, and that laughter. Okay,
Yes.
and I feel like this lady would have loved a snowball. Advocaat.
It's not who I'm thinking of then.
Okay, would you understand?
Well, it was me as a child actually that used to want to drink the snowballs.
Yeah,
It wasn't
okay,
that
all right.
bad.
So you understand the
Just take
memories
off,
that she's
yeah.
bringing through with the Christmas time and the Advocaat and all
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Would you understand the name Jess, please? Or Jess?
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And and who used to play the piano, please?
Not this Jess, no.
No, but you understand there's someone. I feel like they're all going to come in and bombard me with the energy, because I just feel like, so I want to give you as much as I can to prove that your loved ones are in the
That
spirit world.
happens to me a lot actually.
Okay,
They
all come in at once.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just know I've got someone that's playing the piano with me at
Oh,
the
I know who
moment.
that is,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
okay.
okay.
And they have got a twinkle in their eye for you. Okay, so I know that they're very proud of you. Do you understand?
Thank you.
Okay. Who had the ulcer, please?
Yeah, I can take that for,
Yep.
for two, actually three now. Yeah.
Okay, and I feel like they would have had the ulcer, and one of them definitely got infected or something, which then
Oh,
led.
that was me.
You understand? Okay, so that's why they're bringing that forward, just to connect in
Okay.
and bring that in. But there is that need of extra healing for you right now. Do you
Yes,
understand that?
definitely, yeah.
Okay. But the gentleman, I just feel like I'm here 1 minute and then I'm gone the next.
Oh,
You understand?
spot on.
Yeah, I'm here 1 minute and I just didn't get to finish. So emotional that I've got from him. I just didn't get to finish what I needed to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
and he's talking about DIY, the everything, you know, all that,
Life.
because you know, he just didn't get to finish.
Okay.
Okay. Where's the green car fit in, please? I feel
I was always told never to buy a green car because they were unlucky, and I saw one once and told not to buy it. I don't know if
I think like we've all been told that over time, actually.
Don't buy a green car.
Yeah.
Just add up to 13.
Okay, so that's another new bit added to the green car.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I remember
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay. Who had the convertible, please?
Gosh. Oh yes.
Yeah, you understand? And I need to go back to the 1980s as
Mhm.
well. You understand where
Yeah.
that convertible fits in?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Oh, you love to be dancing and music and things like that.
I kind of dance on my own in my bedroom when no one's looking, actually.
Would you understand why I need to give you the Boney M song?
Oh, well, that is a weird thing you've just, sorry, I shouldn't say the word weird. Back in the 70s, the boyfriend that had the convertible, we went to a Boney M concert.
That's
And we
how it
laughed
works.
at.
That's how it works. That's how they connect it in. Okay.
How-
So how amazing. So you understand?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
okay. Okay. Do you feel that you had to care for someone,
Yes,
a gentleman,
yes.
and he's showing me that you had to shave him, or someone shaved him?
He just was obsessed with shaving every day when he
Okay,
was
so
ill.
yeah,
So
you
yes, I know.
understand that. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. I just want to say, it's easy for me to stand up here and say thank you, but you understand that comes with pure sincerity. Do you understand that?
He came through last week too. So
Yeah,
yes, same
okay.
words.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I get it.
He
Wow.
wants me to tell you that his feet are better as well.
Yeah, I kind of get that
Yeah.
actually.
Okay, so I feel like I'm able to walk, I'm able to do those things that I used to do.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Lovely.
Okay. Who used to make the sausage rolls?
Oh no, you're so good. My mum,
Yeah.
every time any family came, it was like abundance of sausage rolls. And we used to laugh at the time. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. And but
I just was
yeah.
because I do that now and they laugh at me. I thought it was Nanny, wasn't it?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. But
Oh.
you know, it's not me. This is your loved ones talking to me and giving me the evidence so that I can prove
I
to you,
know.
because that's what you're needing. Do you understand?
Sausage
Okay.
rolls. Amazing.
Okay. Have you still got a blanket that belongs to Mum?
Yes.
Yeah. Did she made it?
Brochure.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And she's just saying, but I feel like you've looked at it recently as well. Do you understand?
It was someone that said I should part with it, not me, because it was cluttering up, whatever. And I said, I've got parted with so much. And I said, no, this is staying.
It can be folded up. It can be put in one of those bags that shrinks it down or whatever. You understand?
huge,
She's just saying, she's just saying, like,
Yeah,
the memories, you know,
Oh,
you
well-
can't replace them things. You understand?
I do understand.
Yeah, okay. Where's Gordon fit in, please?
Who?
Gordon.
Oh, you for goodness sake. Yes.
Thank you,
need-
Spirit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, this is like, what?
Okay.
Sorry. Oh. Awesome.
You okay?
Yeah, just so brilliant. Sorry. So overwhelming.
Okay. You still got keys that belong to someone in the spirit
Yes.
world as well.
Yes.
And was it Mum that had the sense of humour? Because you're
Not-
just talking about you don't, you know, you told me you're sorting out, so that's obviously
Yeah.
your evidence. But I just want to say she's just saying you don't need to keep everything. Do you understand?
She would say that.
Yeah,
actually, but
yeah. But the blanket is a definite. Yeah,
I
okay.
can't part with that.
No, okay. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Was it Mum that used to do the cleaning?
Yes.
Yeah. And she's very good at it. Really
Yes.
good, you know, not just in the home, but with for others as well. You understand that, you know, and she's like, she had that eye.
Yes.
She's
you don't.
yeah.
That's what you don't.
Okay, so she just had that eye that she could see things that not everybody can see. Okay.
That's true.
And she's very good at judging people in a way, not judging them, that's the wrong word, but seeing people for what they are.
Yes, in a very lovable way.
Yes, you
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
that. Okay. So I just know that she's bringing that forward around you at
Thank
this
you.
moment. Okay. I'm going to leave all their love and their respect and their everything and their for you. But
Bless you.
before they go, who used to love the toffees, please?
My nan back in the day used to buy these toffees, the ones that were the rejects from the
Okay.
factory in Bermondsey, and just we have an abundance of toffees.
Okay. Who broke their
Yes.
tooth?
Sorry,
Who broke their tooth?
me.
Okay, so you understand why she's leaving you the toffees then. All right. Thank you very much for working with me.
Bless you.
Christy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Can I come to the lady in the spotty dress? Hi, how are you? Okay. As I blend my energy with you, I know that I have got a lady that's blending her energy with me, and I look at her and she's very glamorous and very, the way that she would hold herself and conduct herself had to be properly. You
I
understand that?
understand that.
The respect that she had for herself was paramount. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And she's bringing that energy from the spirit world for you, because she's got that respect, that love for you, but also you know yourself. Do you understand
Yeah,
that?
thank
And she's
you.
very proud of that. If I said 2 months ago you was in a bit of and you wasn't sure where you are, you understand, and she's
Yeah.
so glad that you come back
Yes.
to you. Do you understand?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And your worth in that respect. Do you
Yeah.
understand that? Okay. But getting to this lady, I love to socialize. I love to be around people.
Yeah.
That was my thing. That was the things that kept me going, you know, not just family, but friends and that
Yeah.
community spirit. And she just loved that part. Do you
You
understand?
did. Thank you.
Okay. I feel like she's mentioning Cinzano, or you
Yeah,
understand
I
that?
understand
Okay,
that.
yeah, okay. And you understand connections to Fulham, please? Why she's mentioning Fulham to me?
We used to go to Fulham a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
you understand. And I do feel like she liked to dance in her time as well.
She did.
Yeah,
She
okay.
did.
That's weird. Was it you that don't like spiders, or was it her? There's
think
talking about
both,
okay, because
both.
she's talking about not liking spiders, and there's a memory there with
Yeah.
that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I've been swarmed by spiders
Yeah.
or something like that. She's bringing
Yeah.
forward for you. Okay. Where's Denise fit in, please?
I'm not too sure.
Okay,
Denise.
they're on Earth. Okay, so just
Okay.
bear that in mind.
I will.
And
Yeah.
wherever that we find that, just remember that there's a lot of love that's needed there. Okay.
I will do.
Was she a James Bond lover?
Yeah, I think
I
she
think
used
it
to
was the-
admire him on the TV.
Yeah, the James
Yeah.
Bond. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
'cause she's talking about money, Penny. I feel like, because you understand that's her sort of
Yeah.
energy.
Yes.
And she's just talking about that with me as well, just
Yeah.
saying, you know, I wish I was a money penny, you know,
She could have been,
understand that. Yeah, okay. Because she was that glamorous. Do you
was,
understand that? Okay. Would you understand the locket necklace, please?
I've got a necklace.
Okay. Is it like an oval sort of shape?
It's actually a cross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. She's mentioning a locket.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just asking her what she's going on about.
Okay.
Okay. She's just coming in with a little bit of philosophy, actually, just saying that,
Okay.
you know, I'm locked in with you. Do you understand?
Thank you. I feel that.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. And where's Caroline fit in, please?
Caroline.
I'm going back with that quite a way.
Could have been one of her friends.
Okay. I just feel like she's just saying I've met with them in the spirit world.
Okay.
Okay.
That's lovely.
Okay. I just feel like she's not much else to say because she's so proud of you of where you've come back to.
Oh,
Do you
thank
understand
you.
that?
Thank you.
And she walks with you and she's locked in within your
Thank you
heart.
so much.
Thank you for working with me.
Thank
you.
you.
Bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. It's been wonderful. And the lady kept saying it was amazing. Well, you were amazing today. Well done. Well, friends, we're now getting to the part that I'm going to do. Sarah, if you need to go, it's fine. If give my love to Mark and the rest of the family. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Sorry.
That's okay. I was going to say, I know a lot of sweaty women. It don't sound good, does it? Thank you, Sarah. Right. Apologise for those who came in late, wonder if they were late. You weren't late. We just started a bit earlier because people are mentioning they're rather hot with the weather. I can't open those doors at the moment for the simple fact we have a lot of mice outside. It's taken me over a year to get the mice out of the church, and I didn't fancy sitting there and you all coming up to visit you. And it wouldn't be spirit guides, it'd be real mice. And there's also been a couple of foxes living out there, because I wouldn't mind them so much, but we don't really want that today. So I apologise for not opening the door. It's not me being mean, lazy or whatever, but it's trying to protect you all. Before we start our talk, I just wanted to take time to say some thank yous. I'd like to thank my Jackie for all the work she's done putting these events on. And I have to say how disappointed I am the lack of attendance to our events. We've worked very hard to put these events on. Even the mediums, some of the mediums couldn't make it for one reason or another. And I found that, I have to say, disappointing. But this is where I take after my father. Julie Caswell for help making up all these balls with the photographs. We've decided we're going to keep this going on and off for the next few years with different photographs and different aspects of spiritualism. Also like to thank Dawn Collison, who spoke this morning. She came out of a sick bed to be here. And Dawn also did that picture of the 100 years of Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, which we proudly have here. I'd like to thank Sarah, our medium, for this morning. Also like to thank Ashley, who's been doing the IT over there today in the tech. Also like to thank Sarah for doing the food, who's out in the kitchen most of the day. Also like to thank Phil and Julian for the past events that we've had here and the tech that they've been doing there. Also a special thank you to those seen and unseen who have helped this church over the many years. And I would also specifically also like to thank, it's probably along with me, Jill Ross or Jill Hennessy. Her husband, Christy, was the musician who sang a lot of songs, and he's got his own table at the back there. Please, please, please look at it. And one of the most favourite songs of mine of his, and there's a number, but he wrote a song called Remember Me, which we've used at a lot of funerals, and we use it at the close of our Spirit Seeker events. So thank you for all that. And the reason I'm thanking Ashley also is for all the work he puts into Spirit Seeker. It's amazing the hours he has to put in, and the only things that gets in his way is work and having a family. But otherwise, it's the work he does is unbelievable. And we often bless and praise those who suddenly can't come and tell us at thelastminute.com. But that's the life of the event we have here today. Now, I'm honouring my father today, my dad, with a smile and a spiritual tribute. It's a joy to see you here this afternoon. Whether you've come here with memories of Dad or curiosity or just about the love of a good story and spiritual warmth, you're in the right place. Today isn't just a tribute, but it's a celebration of a man who wore his faith like a favourite coat, proudly, daily, and with a touch of flair at times. Now I realise that I'm about to do what I might raise an eyebrow or two, and some might call it nepotism, but I'd like to think of it as a spiritual succession with the side of a good family planning. Jackie and I stepped into the president of Wimbledon Church, and we do with humble hearts and with the spirit of Dad and Mum cheering us on. Sometimes we hear their voices, sometimes it's when I've done something wrong. Dad was, in no uncertain terms, a religious man. When he first found spiritualism, Mum brought him a cross, and he would never leave home without that cross. And that spiritualism lit a fire in Dad, and that cross of his is now worn proudly by our daughter Rachel, and as she walks her own spiritual path. Between the rest of us, including myself, we have shared some of his jewellery and bits and pieces amongst the family. Dad's light, power and love is with us all. Dad just wasn't a spirited man, he was a bit of a character. Loud when he wanted to be, he felt like it, but deeply private man, a man of mystery, wrapped in charm, with just a hint of cheek and happiness. But when it came to spiritualism, he did not keep that secret close to his heart. He shared it amongst the people. And back in the late 60s, when he became a spiritualist, he was still working in Brixton Market, and he shouted from the rooftops his spiritualism. And it wasn't just the rooftops, but it was from the fruit shop, the greengrocery, everything Dad and Tony had between them. And as I reflect on Dad's journey, I'm reminded of the words from Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Dad saw that glory everywhere, in the sunrise, in the market, in the bustle, and in the quiet moments of prayer. His faith just wasn't spoken, but it lived. Like the psalm says, pouring forth speech. Dad spoke proudly of his belief system, and he never hid the fact. On one occasion, when he met Prince Charles, Dad wore a spiritualist badge on his jacket, and Prince Charles asked him what it was. And he told Prince Charles. And I do know of a medium who not long after that visit went to Windsor Castle to speak to Prince Charles. So I just invite you all to join me for a few moments and help me put together Dad's legacy. We wouldn't be sitting here in Wimbledon Spiritualist Church if it wasn't for the work my dad did. In celebrating 100 years at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, and on this occasion, I want to share a few stories about my dad, Derek Charles Robinson, to some Del Boy, to some miserable old so-and-so. But he's a man who helped shape the future of this church. And a lot of people would say to me that Dad didn't like ladies, women. But out of all the people that spoke to me when Dad passed, it was the women that came up to me telling me how he brought comfort to them when they came into the church feeling lost after a friend or family member passed into the spirit. And one lady one day, almost on her deathbed, said to me, "Oh, your dad was a loving, caring man, but oh God, could he be a bugger when he wanted to be?" And that was me dad, to be honest with you. Dad was born 16th of July 1935 to Rose and Len Robinson. 4 years later, he welcomed a younger brother, Tony, into the family. They grew up in Brixton, and like many families of the time, faced the challenges of war and post-war Britain, but also lived with a life fulfilled with grit and character, and a great deal of amount of charm from my granddad and from my nan. Dad started working in Brixton Market at the tender age of 8 years old, pulling barrows out of the morning and pulling them back in of the night. For those who are old enough to remember threepence a barrow. Knowing my dad, I wager he was out there even younger than that, doing the same, because I knew my dad was always willing to duck and dive to try and earn a penny to bring the family home. One of the most profound nights of his childhood occurred during World War II. One night, as the air raid sirens blared, a premonition he had. My granddad Len said, "We're staying in the shelter, kids and Rosie." And Dad burst into tears. "We've got to go into the Anderson." Granddad replied, "It's wet, it's damp, it's horrible." But Dad said, and he threw his tears, "We must go into the Anderson." They got into the Anderson. And sadly, a V1 rocket hit the road and the whole of their house fell on top of the Anderson. And it took 10 hours to get out Dad, Granddad, Tony and Nan. 10 hours to dig them out. And that had a profound effect on Dad's life. Claustrophobia, darkness. But also when people would come up to him saying, "Oh, I feel a bit dark and miserable today." Dark and miserable, dark and miserable. I was buried alive for 10 hours. You get on with it. You get on with it. I used to say, "You can't say that to people," but Dad did. I do remember a wonderful occasion as a lady came here for healing. And Dad said to me when I was training, "Just follow my lead, son. Don't butter an eyelid." So I said, "All right." So he sat there. Now, those who are spiritual healers now won't know what happened back in the day. But quite often, healers give clairvoyance with and after the healing, which is frowned upon. Slightly frowned upon in them days, but most healers did. And most of the patients that came to Wimbledon Church came to see Bill Murray in the sanctuary, but they were then shared round other people around the church. And Dad just winked at me and he said, "This lady's name, Yvonne, I'll see you in your scullery. You're cooking, hang on, what are you cooking? Yeah, eggs, bacon, I think a fried slice. I see you've got the butter out and you're spreading that in and you've got some lard and this." And she said, "Oh, Dale, I didn't realise you were such a wonderful medium." And I sat there a bit gobsmacked, to be honest with you. And as she went away, I said, "Dad," and he went, "Oh, I could smell it off her clothes." But he got away with it and she was so... During the air raid shelter, as I just said, their little dog, Peggy, a little Scottie, got killed. He ran out, or she ran out, and because of the noise and everything, and she was found not long afterwards. Dad returned to the market after the war and working on a fish stall in Station Road with his mate Johnny Moby, and the pair of them were real characters. Have to say they were both teddy boys with slick hair, DAs, sharp tongues as well. And it was days of the market he met my mum. What my nan and granddad must have thought, I'll never know. But they took to him after a period of time. Mum and Dad got engaged and Dad did his 2 years national service. And Dad was in the Royal Air Force. And he did 2 years national service. And someone once said to him, "Did you fly?" He said, "Did I fly? Did I fly? I flew home every Friday night to get home to see Ace and flew all the way back." And it was basically meant he was on a bike and train, then bike again. And he would get a suitcase full of jelly deals, cockles, mussels, bits and pieces. And he was an officer's mess steward. And he put it on the bar and sell it for an extra couple of pennies for himself. And the officers loved it. And Dad had very happy memories of working both the officers and sergeant's mess. And he loved the banter that went on between the officers and how they'd had a few drinks. And Dad just loved that period of time. Now let's fast forward to 1969, which was a very difficult place, and illness and business. Stress followed my dad. Personal crisis left him physically paralysed down one side. I think it was his left side, but I can't remember now. He knew nowhere to turn. Then something extraordinary happened. One day, in the middle of a deeply distressing moment in his life, a man of light appeared behind him, placed his hand on his shoulder and said, "You're a better man than this. Your life will change. Leave this place now. It's not for you." Older members and other members moved away, and Dad said, "Did you see him? Did you see him?" And they said, "I don't know what you're talking about, Dale." And then over the period of time, Dad was talking to his insurance broker, a guy called Lawrence. He called Laurie. And Dad told him of this brief story. He had shared it with his brother and his dad and his mum, not his dad, but his mum and the family. And no one really took part of it because it was quite an awful moment of his time. And cut a long story short, Laurie said to Dad, I've got a mate called Bill Murray. You might want to talk to him. He's one of these sort of guys that talks to dead people. And a few weeks later, Dad had an appointment with Bill. They met at 8 Hayden's Road, which is just about South Wimbledon. And the rest is history with my dad. One of the things my dad really wanted to look for was a church. Dad had always been a very religious, spiritual man, as I said earlier, but he never wore it openly. As a child, I suffered badly with digestion and stomach pains, and I'd always come up to him asking for healing. He'd put his hands on my belly and the pain would always disappear without doubt. Headache, he was good at that. And this is partly because he knew of a faith healer, and he was called a faith healer, Prairie, in Brixton Market. And he really had interesting times and discussions with him. But if I can go back as just a smidge, in November 1965, 25th, my granddad Harry passed to spirit. And the following evening, the 26th of November 1965, I was talking to him, chatting to him at the edge of my bed. He was telling me to stop, tell Nanny to stop crying. I'm not gone. I'm not in a coffin or anywhere. I'm in heaven. So I'd rush down those stairs to go and tell. And between Mum and Nan, they were thought I'd had some sort of hysterical problems coming on, that I was imagining things. And they spoke to Dad about it, and Dad said, I don't believe it, he's imagining it. An aunt who's now in spirit, Dina, would say to me not long after Granddad passed, look up in the stars. That's where, I called my granddad Dada. That's where Dada is. He's up there in the highest heaven. He's in with the stars. And I couldn't understand that, but I learned that. Now, I was about 7 when that happened. The age of 6, I was telling everybody I wanted to be a priest. And I wanted to become a priest and go around the world doing priest stuff. That is how I said it. And my next door neighbour, still in the sanctuary, found a statue of Our Lady in the rubble of some houses that were beginning to be demolished in Brixton. And the same next door neighbour's wife brought me a Bible, which is still here in the church. And I've walked around with this Bible under my arm saying, we've got to talk about God. We've got to talk about God. And as you can imagine, South London and Brixton in the 1960s wasn't really welcomed. But the belief was I knew I was never alone. I had dreams and visions of other people in the spirit world, and they never took that away from me. And Dad spoke to Prairie about my visions and my dreams and my thoughts. And he said, well, Del, if I was you, I'd leave him alone. He'll either grow out of it or he'll end up being a medium. That's not too bad, is it, Del? The result. And Dad just left it be. Now, at the age of 11, I had a very, very vivid premonition and dream. And I spoke to Dad about it because there's not a thing I couldn't speak to my dad about, truly. Even if I'd done a bank robbery, if I told him, he would listen. But seriously, he tried not to be too much of a judgmental man. And he said, oh, I've got a mate you want to speak to. And at the age of 11, a few days later, I was sitting in the development circle learning how to fine-tune my gifts of mediumship. And that was an incredible encounter with Bill Murray. And I came into this church a little while later, and I came on a day when one of the past presidents was the medium. And Jim Blackman really, really told Bill off for bringing me. Children shouldn't be at Sunday services. And Bill said, well, Mr. Blackman, he's only here because he's really interested. No. And he stormed out the doors, told Jack White, you shouldn't allow it. He was the then president. And Jim Blackman came back in and went, Mr. Murray, I'm pointing at Bill. He said, I've just met my Chinese guide. Now I'm looking outside looking for a Chinese guide. Didn't really understand that. And he said, that boy will follow me into manhood, and he will do what I've done. You're going to encourage him and teach him the ways of spirit. And I thought, 1 minute ago, he's just telling me off. And now, and what Dad said to me, and don't let that go to your head, son. You've got to listen to Bill always. Until I got into my late teens, I did. I'd question some of what Bill would say. But when we first came into Wimbledon's church, roughly 1971, from our circle in Wandsworth, the church we found was still in debt to the SNU for around £600, if my memory serves me right. And thanks to Jimmy Collins, it was paid off within a few weeks, if not months. That allowed us to change our affiliation from the East London District Council of the SNU to the West London District Council under the spiritual leadership of Robin Stevens. And Robin Stevens became a great friend to the church. He was the minister officiated at Jackie and I's wedding. He also christened or named our Ashley at a naming service. By this time, Dad had become medium secretary, and he'd booked some of the most legendary names at the time in spiritualism. Jesse Nason, Coral Polge, Gordon Higginson, Robin Stevens, Albert Best, and he even had Harry Edwards here twice doing dens on this platform and a private healing in the sanctuary, which we all watched. And it was fantastic to watch Harry Edwards. And as he finished the service, he came down these stairs and walked down the centre aisle, and people were trying to touch him and shake his hand and hold him. And he just very gently made his way out. And Ray Branch mentions it in his book, and he said it was something he'd not seen before. And Harry Edwards just gently just healed these people. The deaf could hear again. Person with poor eyesight could see better. Person with a crouched up back could stand up straight. And a person with arthritic hands that you could knock like that on the lectern, hands and fingers were all moving. And he also added the codicil. If I catch any of you doing what I'm trying to do today with hands and joints, I'll bar you out of your organisation if you're not a member of mine, because you must understand the power of the Spirit and the manifestation. You just can't take it upon yourself. You can make someone walk. And I see Doris Collins give healing up at the town hall when there was a town hall in Wimbledon Town Centre, and this man threw his walking sticks into this crowd of about 150 people, no, 1,300 people. And it was incredible to see that healing done. And Dad, along with Gordon Higginson in 1982, formed a publicity arm of the church, founded an organisation called LAD Promotions, Life After Death Promotions. Along with Gordon Higginson, Doris Stokes and Jesse Nason, they set about taking spiritualism back to the people and back to the public. 1950s open-style public meetings and halls for people that were perhaps nervous about coming into a spiritualist church for the same time. And Dad would have at different meetings around the country, people from local churches where you could give your leaflets out and your paperwork out, or just your church address and numbers. Dad also took spiritualism out to the world. He went to Scotland, Wales, Ireland. He also went to Japan, United States of America. And I think he went out States for 6 or 7 years, Jack, if not for 10. And quite honest with you, I have this wonderful memory. I know Jackie has the same one. In the Turlock church where we were, there was a couple of grapefruit trees. And I'd come back from helping Danny out with one thing or other, and Dad's got his trouser legs rolled up past his knees, a hanky knotted on his head so he don't get his ball patch burnt, pulling grapefruits off the tree and eating them raw. And he said, "Oh, it's been a wicked day, son. It's been a wonderful day." Now, coming back a little bit into the late 70s and 80s, the SNU took umbrage with us following the leadership of Jesus Christ, because in March 1985, I got ordained as a Greater World Spiritualist minister, and the union didn't like that. And they actually wrote to Dad and Jimmy telling them that they had to remove me off committee and also sack me from being a minister at the church. And we fought that, and we did one, because the trustees showed that the union will allow a minister to act in their churches. And they were the trouble times in spiritualism. There were so many arguments and upsets and rows, and we fell out with friends that we'd known for years from our very early days. But we remained friendships over the years, and we spent time here. Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, after a great deal of money and expense, lawyers' fees, we reclaimed our independence and got our trust deed back from the SNU. And though we're affiliated to United Spiritualists, they have no say in the running of our day-to-day running of our church in any way. And if they have a complaint about us or about anyone here, it goes to them and they just hand it back to the head of the church. Dad wasn't afraid to say when he was a spiritualist, he had to go to court on one occasion to do with business. And he stood in court and they asked him his religion. He said, Christian spiritualist. The whole court went quiet. And the gentleman who was going to swear Dad in wasn't sure what to do. He said, and the judge said, well, do you believe in the Bible? And Dad said, yes, I've got my own here if you want to check it. If not, I'll swear on one of yours. Well, I don't see anything wrong with that. And they said, a Christian spiritualist, never heard of that. And Dad said, well, you have now. And Dad carried on. Dad trained in the early days of his development here as a spiritual healer. He trained with Jimmy Collins, Bob Bassett, Peter Stark and George Walker. And they were all passed out as registered healers and trainers in them days by a gentleman of the Guild of Spiritual Healers called Mr. Moon. And they worked from Bill's house and here. 2 nights here, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Bill's house also on a Wednesday and whenever Bill was needed. Dad rose to the rank of vice president in the church and he gave a short eulogy for Bill. Bill helped me train to be a medium, trained me as a healer, and I don't know if Bill himself would be able to learn to be a healer now with all the different bits and pieces that are involved in healing. Because in those days, there was no training manuals at all, not even a sheet of paper. There was nothing. Bill just taught what he knew about spiritual healing, about where to place the hands, when you not to place the hands, talk to the patient, listen to the patient. Never give clairvoyance, though Bill always did. Gordon Higginson himself and another person helped us fight the SNU. Now that sounds contradictory because Gordon himself was president of the SNU, but they felt, and Gordon felt, and a few others, and especially us here, we wanted our own independence and we won. The SNU tried to get to our bank account by contacting our bank, and the bank said, don't recognise you and put the phone down. I was told by an old neighbour they're here trying to put locks on the doors. That was stopped as well. Dad set up dinner and dances at various venues, finally setting up at the Dog and Fox up at Wimbledon Village. He raised funds for the Royal Hospital or for the incurables, guide dogs for the blind, St Hilliers Diabetic Unit and countless others. We guesstimate, Jackie and I, Dad raised about £30,000 or via the church. Dad raised £30,000. And there is a picture somewhere of Dad at St Helier receiving a certificate saying thank you for the work we've done. And what we found with the guide dogs for the blind, we thought we were buying a guide dog. We were actually paying for most of it in admin fees and training fees for a dog. So that's hence we gave up, though we got 2 dedicated in our name, and we have a statue somewhere with one of them for one of the donations. But we felt we wanted help a hospital and buy pieces of equipment. And the Royal Marsden, which has always been very close to my dad's heart, and the Royal Marsden, we would say, can we help you buy something? And he'd say, I'm buying this piece of equipment, Derek, it's going to cost £4 million. And he said, whatever you give me, I'll show you what you brought me. Come back and say, that's it, that little knob there, little knob. He said, you brought that. So we actually felt we had an input into that. Dad was a strong man, a spiritual man, a no-nonsense man. And I speak on behalf of myself and my brother and the entire Robinson family, where I say, thank you, Dad, for your spirit, your stubbornness and your love and your legacy. And on behalf of Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, who we have this church to talk in today, we thank you, Dad. And God bless you. And God bless all those seen and unseen, all those past presidents, because the person my dad admired greatly was Mr. Bush, the work that Mr. Bush done. And many people forget and don't know that Mr. Bush brought this land out of his own pocket, paid for it, built the church, furnished the church out of his own pocket. Now, in the 1920s, that was quite a task. Mr. Bush was able to retire at the age of 33 and never work again. He devoted his rest of his life into spiritualism. I believe in his late 40s or 50s, he swam the Colorado River across because he went to the States quite a bit. Dad found Mr. Bush's daughter, Dorothea, who was a great friend to the family, and she was a lovely, sweet old girl. And she wasn't practicing her spiritualism, there wasn't one near to her, but she took her spiritualism to her local Anglican church, and she would often point to the vicar at the end of his sermon the errors of his ways and how mistaken he was, that everyone goes to heaven. You don't have to believe in the sins forgiven, only you get into heaven straight away and you don't need the blood of the cross. And this man would say, of course, Mr. Ellingson, I forgot you were sitting there. Mr. Bush proudly sat with the Ouija board, which we've still got here in the church. We put on display early part of this year. And he wrote 2 books that I'm aware of on spiritual and spiritual messages. He wrote a book of services for the church. And he also wrote children's books under the title Uncle Dick Stories for Children. He was a pioneer man for his time. He was a member of what's still called the Fabian Society, which is a left-wing think tank. And he spoke very proudly of his beliefs in spiritualism, which got him into trouble. When we were building the church, we needed better drainage. And we were advised by the council we need to block next door's drains up for that to be brought to their knowledge that we needed drains here. Mr. Bush got the builders to do so. Mr. Bush then got a letter from the local authorities saying he was being taken to court because he blocked public drainage up. We then found out not long after that most of the council were Baptists and truly against us in any way, shape or form. And we've found a lot of problem, I have to be perfectly honest with Baptists over the years. They've not liked us. Our former next door neighbour in the 70s was a born-again Christian, and she had a sign outside her house. She said, I'm nothing to do with that church. They're demons. If you want to find Christ, do knock on my door. So we've seen some interesting things here. I've known some wonderful people here. I see people that have passed on. I see my dad, Jimmy Collins, Mum, Jimmy's wife, Bill Murray, Joan Murray, Bob Bassett and Jean Bassett. I see them all. I see Robin Stevens here. I see the light of their manifestation of their spirit. I hear Gordon. I see Gordon. I have yet to be left alone or left bereft with my spiritualism because they comfort me in my times of need and worry. And I know I share the presidency with Jackie and I can be a bit pompous, I think my mum would say, with it at times. But I love this church. I treasure this church. I protect this church with the best of my abilities. But the problem is I'm getting older. With the loss of my left eyesight, I'm finding it harder to read. That was difficult today, but I think I managed it. And I passionately believe still that I am not being punished for my eyesight. Somebody said, God has let you down because of your eyesight. I said, God hasn't let me down because I see things differently. And hopefully I'm trying to understand things differently because I'm seeing things differently. I've been blessed by wonderful surgeons at the hospital and doctors. More importantly in my life, I've been blessed by the day I met Jackie. I have to admit to you publicly, we met in a pub, as you did. She was playing darts. She was drinking at the bar, drinking dry martinis and lemonade. Looked fantastic in what she was wearing. Met up again a few weeks later at her sister's wedding I was invited to. Jack said I proposed to her that night, but she did say, come back again and ask me when you're sober. And I did. We was engaged 2 weeks later. Jackie hates me using this phrase, but she's the brains of the outfit. I'm not to say I don't have any brains or thoughts, but Jackie is spiritually, materially, morally, she has supported me through thick and thin. And I can't thank her enough for that. She won't like me talking about this, but I love her. Love her dearly. I'm very proud of my son, Ashley, man who was never going to follow me into the church, wanted nothing to do with spiritualism, who's now running Hatbridge in his own way with his wife, Claire. Our daughter, Rachel, who was here this morning, she said, well, I had to be here. It's a special day. I'm a member of this church. Rachel is a very qualified spiritual healer. She is a very good mum to little Jack. And she's a good wife to Shawnee, our husband. Claire has been brilliant in our family, very stable in hand. Some of those nights we had emergency call-outs because my mum was on the floor, or June was ill, or Rick was ill. My Uncle Tony was ill. Claire would take me places. Took me to my Uncle Tony's 3 times, and Tony lived in Eastbourne. So she was very good at doing that for me. My 4 grandkids, Ethan said to me, Granddad, if the church is 100 years, and he's only 10, but so that makes were you there at the beginning? Because you're over 50, aren't you? I said, I'm 66. So you might have known the beginning then. I said, no, before my time. I am so proud of being a spiritualist. I've never hid my spiritualist light from anyone. The only time I ever did that, I told Jackie on a Tuesday night, we can't meet because I'm going out. Where are you going? I said, don't ask, but trust me, I'm all right. And after a few days, she asked me, what do you do on a Tuesday night? And I was going out giving healing to both my nans with Bob Bassett, who was one of my healer trainers. And Bob spoke to Bob about it. He said, well, you've got nothing to be ashamed of. Tell Jackie. And Jackie said to me, what are you doing? So I told her. Following Sunday, she came here, met Bill Murray in the middle of that hall outside. He shook her hand to greet her and gave her a reading from her nan, who had been passed some years. And Jack cried most of that Sunday, tears of happiness, knowing that there was no death. And that's what we've got to keep on doing, proving to people that there is no death. Spiritual philosophy is wonderful. The spiritual books, Silver Birch, Zodiac, Red Cloud, White Eagle, all the other guides. And I think it's funny that the light's gone out over prophecy. So there's a message there for me somewhere. But the situation is, Wimbledon Spiritualist Church has got to be here in some way or some format for another 100 years. Teaching, educating, spiritualism. Not people's egos, not people's manifestation of what's right. Someone said to me the other day, I didn't think you was a medium. I said, why? He said that. Well, you don't talk about yourself. Well, when I first sat in circle in 1971, the first word we learned, we were all new that day in circle, you're here for service. You're here to serve. However you do it, but you're here to serve. And on one occasion, Bill Murray gave some wonderful healing to a person. He went and offered Bill in the 1970s 25 quid, which is quite a lot of money in them days. Bill refused it. He went straight downstairs and gave 25 quid to Bill's son, Steve. Bill came running down the stairs, took the 25 quid out of Steve's hand, put it in an envelope and rushed round here and put it in the letterbox here as a donation to the church. Bill believes, as I sort of do, or similar, that didn't have to spend money to teach my gifts and learn my gifts. So I didn't have to charge. Sometimes I have done, I can tell you there's times of financial trials and tribulations when the gas bill, electric bill, phone bills all come in, and then someone's phoned me up and said, "Oh, Mr. Robinson, are you free to conduct a funeral next week?" And that helped pay the bills. But the beauty that spiritualism offers of there is no death. Church of England teaches that, but you have to believe in the blood of the cross. You have to believe in Jesus will cleanse your sins. We teach that you will get to heaven. And what heaven you first inherit is the heaven you will learn from. Not everyone keeps coming back. Fernie, who's those of you who remember Fernie here, Fernie, she told me she was about to get ready to pass, and I was sad because I'd known Fernie since I was 11, and I was probably in my 40s then. And she said, "Don't you get so soppy with me, and don't expect for me to come back because I'm going over there to learn. I want to come back and know more." Because she'd had a tough life, to be honest. I won't go into reasons whys and wherefores, but she'd had a tough, hard life. And she was a very caring, loving people. And Stephen and Kelly come here. They knew her from when she ran a disabled playground up at Wimbledon. They used to attend there and they knew Fernie quite well when they were kids. So that is a little bit about my dad, that man up there. Derek Charles Robinson, Del Boy to a lot of people. And if he knew you well and he thought a lot of you, he'd give you a nickname. And if you upset him and there's a photograph in the office of you and him together, you got a white sticker put across your face. I'm serious. And he said to me, "Oh, I had a row with Joe Bloggs tonight." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I gave him the white spot." That'll teach him. I can remember some person coming back saying, "Del, please take that sticker off. Ever since we've fallen out, everything's gone wrong in my life." And Dad said, "Oh, well, shouldn't upset the church, should you?" And Dad would also be very, very honest with mediums. If they thought they were not being competent as they could be, he would take them off the platform. Above where Ashley's sitting now, there's a thermostat. There used to be a red light there. And if he thought you was a bad medium, including me, Jackie, or anyone, he would flash that light. And the red light would stay on. Then if he really was worried and getting annoyed with you, he'd come up here and ask the medium to leave the platform. Because he did not like mediums abusing spiritualism and giving fake messages or pretend messages. Because one of the things Dad always said, and Ashley still lives that, we don't do carrier bag mediumship. So if I say to the lady in the spotty dress, "Do you understand a man with a crutch, no leg, and a parrot on his shoulder?" you'd say yes or no. If you said no, some mediums would say in the old days, "Take it home with you." What's the point? Just say no. If that's meant to come again, you'll get better evidence next time. I can remember a medium, a lady medium. She was in her late 70s, early 80s, and she's about that high. She had the old-fashioned hearing aids on her pockets, and she'd shout to the top of her voice, "I would like to come to you, but you need to open your legs because I can't see it from up here." And she'd go, "Right, more, wider, wider, wider. I can't see it. You need to show it to me." And people are looking around and thinking, what's going on here? And she's talking about energy, power, chakras, etc. But it didn't sound good. And we had to say to her afterwards, or Dad did, we don't want to see it. Don't want anyone to see it. Just give them a message, because when I learned to be a spiritualist medium, we didn't learn about chakras. Chakras was frowned on because they just were frowned on. I was trained, and I'm not saying I'm great at it, but talk to the dead people. Get them to come in through perhaps your guide first of all, or till they come here. Or Sarah says the phrase is now blend your energies, or blending with you. But we'd come and then we'd give speak and we'd say, and we developed this 3 strikes. So if you said no 3 times, we left you and went on to somebody else. And I think that was a good way of working in them days. And sometimes I see people say no, no, no to the medium. And the medium sat down and said, "That's it, I give up. Never working again." Come up to me afterwards to speak to the medium. And I said, "He's gone home." I said, "He's given up." He's never coming back into a spiritualist church ever again. Well, I didn't want my next door neighbour to know all my private stuff, so I kept saying no. All she had to say was, I understand. And to a neighbour on the way home on the bus, I'm not discussing it with you. But the medium gave up for about 15, 20 years. And he was devastated. He had a man heckling him from over here. I stood up here. I became president on the Saturday night. On the Sunday morning, I'm chairing a medium. And she told this couple who were about to get married, don't get married because it's going to fail. If you're wasting all your money spending on this wedding, it'll fail. Just carry on living together. Now, I have to admit, I don't know if they're still married or not, but they sat there afterwards in floods of tears. And they got married here, and I say they never came back because they were so upset by that message. So mediums and healers have a responsibility to know what they're undertaking when you speak to somebody. The idea of spiritualist mediumship is to attempt to give there's a life after death, not cold readings. Under the Consumer Act of the day, if I say to her, I'm picking your polka dot dress again, but if I say to the lady, here's 6 numbers, go and do it, you'll win the lottery, and you don't, you can sue me for misinforming you. And I think it's a £2,000 fine. And mediums don't understand, they shouldn't prophesy. I noticed somewhere in a paper today or yesterday night, somewhere a local spiritualist group are doing a psychometry evening. That, to my knowledge, is against the law because then you can prophesize and see things for the future, unless you do psychometry properly, which is reading the soul of that object, be it a stone, a ring, a key. If you're going to do contact reading like Shirley used to, those of you who knew our Shirley, you can give a clairsentient reading, you'll feel the energies and give a reading. But it's understanding the difference, understanding. Very close friend of mine gave me a ring. I say it's a ring because I knew then, but it was in a little cardboard box wrapped up in cotton wool, and I gave a reading. And the first thing I got there was a separation, divorce. It broke my heart because I knew the couple very well. And first time ever in my life, I confided in my dad, not meant to, but I confided with him. He said, talk to him. And I did. And they then admitted, because the bit I got, second. And cut a long story, they couldn't afford a brand new engagement ring, so they brought a second-hand one. Hello, you heard me. And all jokes aside, at the time, they were going through a bad thing. So I misinterpreted what I picked up. So it's one of the first big lessons I ever learned. So cherish your spiritualism, be it here or other churches or other venues. Cherish and love your spiritualism. Jesus, the teacher and master, said in one of his teachings, when asked, what is the greatest commandment of them all? He said, love the Lord thy God with thy heart, thy soul, and all thy mind. And the second is unto that, love thy neighbour as you be loved yourself. On these 2 commandments hangeth the law of the prophets. And that still goes for today. Yes, we have 15 principles here, the SNU 7, Greater World 9 with their belief and pledge, and the other organisations have their own belief system. But what matters more than importantly, and you have to understand this, you are your own individual temple. You are your own manifestation of spirit on earth, and you have your own life lessons to learn. I have some wonderful teachers and guides. I have never felt the real need to publicise who they are, where they come from. For no other reason, they asked me to. No need to publicise us. Those who do know have kept it private and confidential, and I do know people have gone behind my back trying to fight and whistle it out of them. But what matters that I'm guided by the manifestation of the Spirit, by teachers, guides and helpers that have come from the spirit world to help and guide me. One of them I probably knew at the same time of their living and worked with them. St. Paul says to one of his students, keep in season the message. When the message goes out of season, bring it back with fire and substance. And then if it needs to be brought back again, do the same again, but with more fire and more substance. Spiritualism is not dead. No pun on that. It is not dead. It's alive and well. It's how we manifest that spiritualism. And I am disappointed there's not more people here today, last Wednesday, and the last month's Wednesday. But in the end, if you want to go to church, you go to church. You don't worry what's going on in the world. You come to church, because coming to church, sitting in here, praying, meditating, linking with spirit, you're helping making this world a far greater place to live in. Go forward, my friends. Go forward with the beliefs and manifestation of the Spirit. Go forward with the knowledge that there is no death. That God is on our side, or the divine, or the blessed one, or the Father, Mother God, whichever phrase you use it, keep it, manifest it in your life, in your teachings. I have never been embarrassed by my testimony and belief in spiritualism. I know without doubt that my dad, Derek Charles Robinson, Mum, Hazel Robinson, are in the spirit world with all the other family and friends that have gone on before. And they do not, and I repeat, they do not leave me bereft. They give me the strength and energy to continue, to revitalise. I've even made a decision this week about something which I'm not telling nobody. Jackie knows and Rachel knows. I've got to tell Ashley yet. But I want to try and do something to change my life. I'm going to start dressing up as a queen, but another story. But in all honesty, we need to practice our spiritualism. Keep it plain and simple. I have people talking to me about sometimes they don't think they're speaking correctly. They don't speak in the right phraseology. They're not saying it in the right way. Well, I was brought up in my spiritualism to speak as you are, to be who you are. Now, Gordon Higginson, the president of the SNU, probably the greatest medium I've ever seen and probably will ever see, had elocution lessons at the time when he was young. But it didn't change him. What changed him, he could speak differently, use the right phraseology and language, the right grammar. Now, I often fall back and tell people, oh, I'm dyslexic and didn't learn these things till quite late in my life. But I still manifested the power of the Spirit, never stopped me. And one of my minister mentors, Harold Cox, remembers going to church in the 30s, and this lady came in and she was full of rags, holes, patches, slightly dirty even, slightly smelly even. And to their horror, this person was the medium for the night. And they all sat there extremely uncomfortable. And Harold said it was one of the best services he ever saw in his life, because she let go and let God take over, and the manifestation of the Spirit happened. Sometimes it won't. Because if we are true to ourselves, you can't always get the right connection at the right time. But as that lady in blue said earlier, wow, this is fantastic. It's all right. It's all great. It's all wonderful. Perhaps not quite that language, but within reason. And that's great and wonderful. Let go and let God take over your lives. Let the Spirit manifest itself. And let those seen and unseen people guide you, help you now and forevermore. So mote it be. Amen. Thank you, friends. Are you coming up, Jack, or? Well, it's quite true you won't, but.
Today, 20 couple, same as the lady, and our spirit seeking weekends we've been doing for the last 25 years. keeping the training going, keeping the learning going and the mediumship going. And, you know, it's wonderful for Ray to, you know, be able to get up and talk. We don't talk about Derek that often. But the fact was, you know, when he came to this church in 71, we didn't have carpet on the floor. You know, we had bare floorboards. We didn't have curtains up. We didn't have, you know, a nice set of cups and saucers. We didn't do refreshments after the service. You know, all of these things were built up in the 70s and the 80s. You know, we were in debt. You know, we had psychic supper and evening demonstrations, week in, week out for months and months. And we also raised awareness of charities. And, you know, we've always had the motto of this church, what we can give, not what we can get. And that's really important. And our integrity here at the church is very important. And I say, Ray and I have been now, Ray's been president since 2007. But Derek was 25 years president, so therefore a quarter of that 100 years. And he was here for over 50 years, as Ray has been over 50 years. So we can, on this occasion, blow our own trumpet to say that the Robinson family have been here and been the stay of this church for 50 years. So, you know, that's why I'm pleased to be able to say that. And I don't think the church has ever looked more beautiful, actually. You know, we try, and with Julie's help, with the flowers and the floral arrangements and everything else, we try to make it a comfortable place to be, a friendly place to be. And I was reading one of the articles in some of the clips, it's Derek's scrapbook, and somebody was saying, and it was an independent person, said they come to Wimbledon, they were made to feel at home and they were made to feel friendly. And we've been keeping all of our, what used to be little separate tables, into one big table, so that people, when they come on a Sunday morning, know they can sit and they're part of the big family of Wimbledon. That's how we see it. And all the pictures of us over the years are our family, our church family. And I know when we all go away in October, we feel as though we're together with a family. People might come as an individual, but they're there as part of our spiritual family. And we're there as ministers 24/7. And we've got a team of 7 ministers here, of which you should know most of them if you don't, you know. So we are always here for people. And that's part of what being a church family and a spiritualist family is. So thank you for being here today. I know it's very hard at what feels like the hottest day of the year. And we changed the timing slightly so that we could combine our other chats, because we just felt it was too long a day in the end with the unbearable heat. But as I say, have a look round. We hope to see you at other services that we have, you know, from our small services to our big meetings that we have, when Ivan normally has about 100 people here on the last Sunday of the month. So, you know, we have our healing sessions. We have hopefully something for everyone. We've got our training groups. We've got our circles. We've got our healing groups. So, you know, if you can't see something and you think we should do, then let us know. You know, but as I say, thanks again for coming, because without you, without having a congregation, then there is no church, there is no church service. So let's go for the next 50 years of Wimbledon Church. And some of you might still be around in that 50 years. The rest of us, we'll be coming to church, but we'll be coming from spirit side. So thank you very much again. Another round of applause for Ray, I think. So we don't talk very often. Thank you all. Thank you. Oh, by the way, there's a collection box outside, because we can put it in the playground. And I forgot to do it this morning's one. It's down to go at 10 o'clock this morning. But if anyone wants to pay to, it's cost of the electric.